Broncos start the preseason off right. It's a 27-7 victory in Atlanta over the Falcons. Man, I got my notes and they're stacked up with all the highlights and MVPs. What a performance. We're going to talk about all of that and more just on the other side of this. We're going to start right about now. Welcome in, everybody, to the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. Man, I thought I got this all set up, but there he is, Mr. Patrick Wiltsey, joining me in for, a Victory Saturday, Patrick. It's a Victory Saturday for the Denver Broncos. We don't get too many Victory Saturdays. We got one today, man. So welcome in, man. Smiles all around Broncos country. Man, good to see you, my friend. I know that you're buckling down in a lot of ways.
Little bit. It's coming across. The storm should miss, I don't know, about 50, 60 miles, they said, southwest of the actual island I'm on. But I mean, we'll feel all the wind and the rain and whatnot, but the center of the storm, which is what really would mess people up, isn't going to hit us. So. Yeah,
that's good, buddy. That's good to hear, man. For those of you who don't know, Patrick coming in all the way from Hawaii, and Tropical Storm Lala bearing down on Hawaii right now. The big main island really going to get it, but hopefully steers clear of you, my friend. And we keep you here for the entire broadcast. We might have to cut it short if we lose Patrick. Can't lose Patrick. Hey, buddy, lots of things to get talking about. Already see the comments coming in, and good to see all the POSSE members. That's what we call you, everybody in the chat. We're going to get to some of those chat discussions, here in just a moment, man. But first and foremost, a couple things, man. I just wanted to give a shout out before I forget, because I'm always bad about it. We saw the Morgan Trinkets, our sponsor, at the very top of the show. I'm going to do the little sponsor read right now. They're out at the Greeley Dog Show out there in Greeley, Colorado. It's their favorite event. They have a dog in the show. That's Pearl. She's our amazing sponsor. You need to go out there and you need to check her out. August 14th through the 17th, Greeley Dog Show. But right now, man, let's get right into the Broncos, man. I don't know if there could have been a better start to this game. It all really started with Sean Payton throwing some jokes on the sideline pregame when he said the fans looked like they were dressed up as empty seats. Man, we laughed all the way to the bank and laughed all the way to a victory in this one, man. It started early. It came often, and this game was never really, in control or out of control on either side of things, man. Patrick, what did you think about the start of the game and the way it started out for the Denver Broncos, man?
It definitely looked like they were clicking. Like it looked like Stidham had his time with the ones that were out there. I mean, Sutton out there, some of the other boys, Ingram, looked like they were out that way. So I mean, it looked like they definitely, were thinking properly, had the play calls lined up. They looked like they were getting to the line with plenty of time, that if they wanted to adjust or switch, they had time. He had time to read and do things instead of just react, maybe proactively look for something. It was nice. I know it's only preseason and it's, people going half speed against half speed. So, I mean, it was a nice thing to see that definitely it could be done and hopefully, developed further and stronger.
That's the first thing that I got to point out, man. First note of mine, and I know there's going to be a lot of player accolades that we're going to go through, because there were some players that really stood up and showed out on Friday night, man. We're here on a Saturday now, but first and foremost, the play calling and how quickly it got in to the quarterbacks, how quickly they got to the line of scrimmage. It's been an issue for a while. We've been seeing that hiccup. The time is running out. You see the quarterback back there clapping their hands, raising their leg, trying to get the ball out before the play clock expires. There was none of that. And we're talking about a brand new offensive coordinator. We're talking about Davis Webb taking over the helm in the helmet of each one of those quarterbacks. And I don't think it could have went any better when it came to Davis Webb's introduction, his debut for the Denver Broncos as offensive coordinator, as play caller for the Denver Broncos. Man, what a fantastic start to his career. Shows why we wanted to keep him in the building, I guess is the best way to put it, Patrick, right?
Most definitely. I mean, he's only new at the OC stuff. I mean, he knows how to talk to Bo. He knows how to talk to the rest of those guys that have listened to him and in that quarterback room. So, I mean, I think that gives him a huge leg up, that maybe they have their own chemistry. Maybe they have their own shorthand, and he's able to dwell on that and pull on that.
Yeah, it's a long relationship. It's one that Bo has obviously treasured as well. He's talked very well about Davis Webb. Sean Payton's talked very well about Davis Webb. I can't think of a crossword since he's really came in the building. It's funny because when he first came, it's like, really? This guy was just playing quarterback last year. He's going to be he's going to be involved in offense. Now look at Davis Webb. Now look at what he's become, man. What vision for Davis Webb and what vision he had out there on the field on Friday night. Like I said, just came in. I thought he also had a great mix of plays. It was a good balance, run and pass. It kept people off balance. It wasn't predictable in any particular way. There was a lot of under center where we've seen a lot of shotgun in the past.
Right.
There was just a lot of things about the way this offense came out, and they were out there. They were going from the very get go. Speaking of going, how about Victory Lap coming in here and saying, "Yo, LFG." We all know what that means. He's over there on YouTube coming in. Victory Lap, good to see you, my friend. Told you I'd hit the comments. Ernie Mays coming in also over on YouTube. Man, we got the YouTube community coming in. Mr. Ernie Mays, he's an OG. Go Broncos country only. Think Broncos big, not 31 teams small. Hello, Keith and Jody and Mr. Patrick Wiltsey. Good to see you, Ernie. Good to see you a lot. He's given a couple of shout outs. We'll get on these two next, since Victory Lap has kind of taken over the chat and guiding us along, man. We said we'd talk about some MVPs. I really liked, like I said, I had to get Davis Webb out before we got to some of these players. We'll get to the players now. Shout out to Boss Moss and Jade Barron. You get to choose, man, which one you want to talk about. You want to talk about Riley Moss? You want to talk about Jade Barron? Your choice, Patrick, and go.
I'll grab Barron because I've gone on about Moss for a little while, a couple times. I don't mind grabbing on Barron there. He looked, especially that run back. He was just, right place, right time, and you can tell that's somebody that's been prepping and waiting for their chance to be able to do something. And when it popped, there was no hesitation. It was like shot out of a gun. There didn't look to be anybody near him at the 50.
True.
Like they just given up, like, and he was just gone, but he didn't slow up. It's not like he, was high stepping it. He wasn't good. He was boom. And he was making sure he got his time, his shot. So I'd love to see that. I like to see that little bit of a chip, that he's ready to go. If it gets knocked off, it's because he took it off to set it down to run your ass over, run your butt over,
Oh, it's okay. We can get a little bit nasty from time to time. I think we're all right. Patrick, you're right, man. He was ready. He was shot out of a cannon. Jade Barron looking pretty good out there. I don't think he's challenging Patrick Surtain anytime for his role. I don't think he's challenging Riley Moss anytime for his role. But man, what a compliment and a continued growth. Good to see him get an interception. Get involved, in that way. Now, I do got to say he also missed an interception later on in the game. So only downside on on Jahdae Barron as far as a negative, I guess, if you want to say, missing an interception. I'll go ahead and I'll pick up Riley Moss, man. Thought he had a fantastic game. Continues to prove why he's that number 2 cornerback in this defense. And then him also getting the interception of his own. So, I think a little bit maybe tougher interception, just the way that it kind of careened and the way he had to go after it. Maybe didn't have the amazing run back that Jahdae Barron did, but Boss Moss and Jahdae Barron, a couple of shout outs by Victory Lap, and Victory Lap, man, that's a good shout out, man. A couple of names on my list as well. So that Barron pick looks identical to the PS2 pick in the Raiders game. Hey, you're not,
pretty close.
Yeah, pretty dang close. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Victory Lap. Look at you. Check out the big brains on Victory Lap, man.
Got a yard or 2 difference is all, right? He caught it out of the end zone where it wasn't PS2's a little more like right at the end zone.
Just inside the end zone, like 102 yards or something like that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Dreamweaver coming in. My good friend JC coming in and saying, Keith, good to see you, JC, man. Thanks for letting me come on the Orange and Blue Network. Nothing rhymes with Orange and Blue. I was over there last week, man. Had a blast. Got to check out those guys, man. They have a fun time over there. Good to see you, JC. And good again. We'll get the invite out to get you out here on the show. Rodney's coming in, man. Like I said, man, list is big. Patrick. He's got a couple more names. So again, I don't know if you guys saw these 2 guys, but he's talking about Manjack and Cam Ross, man. What do you either one of those names ring a bell after you? I know that you were trying to watch a little bit of this game.
Yeah.
But you also got to you got to watch almost all of it. You were listening to part of this game. Sorry, man.
Yeah. I had to drive home, so I didn't catch video wise all of it yet. Mm-hmm. But no, I like Manjack. I hadn't heard that name before. I'd seen it on a list, and I was like, the heck is that? That's an interesting name. Did they typo? Is that really his name? And then, I'm like, he looked well. I mean, yeah, there was just a couple of times he looked like, but that kind of, what do I, but he seemed to recover well and seemed to put his nose where obviously Atlanta wouldn't want it. So, I mean, it was pretty good. He looked strong. I mean, I'd love to see him make the team just so you have to hear the announcer say that name.
what a name, right? Just like he's got to go over there and he needs to start running over some people if he's going to run around with a name like Manjack, right?
No doubt.
The thing I liked about him the most, 3 for 3, thrown 3 times, caught 3 balls. That first one, when he took that skinny slant to the inside, there was
frozen time. These things are going to happen from now on, huh?
Okay. Hopefully I'm good. But he took
me to freeze, not you. Anyway, yeah, no, he did look good. Looked like he was going. I don't have the stats like Keith does, but sorry there. We got you back?
I think I'm back. Am I here? I don't know.
I hear you.
Okay.
I hesitated and then I picked up for a second. I didn't have the stuff certain to say. I didn't have the stats like you did there, but I just my eye visualized. So
no, what I was going to say, and hopefully you guys can hear me, see me. I'll see if there's anything I can do to make this any better if in a moment. But 3 for 3 on his receptions and no gloves. This guy's out there catching them all barehanded, man. So.
I did see somebody. I didn't even notice that until I saw a comment about that they were calling him no glove Manjack, no gloves.
Yeah. Am I doing pretty good, Patrick, or my ball broke up?
I sound good. You sound okay to hear.
Okay, very good, man. Well, good, man. Cam Ross, though, man. Cam Ross, another one that got out there. He got some early looks, man. He was out there on the field and seemed to even almost be featured in this one. So, Rodney, man. Good call out, man. Cam Ross looking pretty good. Manjack, I wish you wouldn't take that one because I loved talking about Manjack. So yeah, Manjack, I think has an opportunity potentially. So did you say sorry?
Well, yeah, I don't want to talk over. I mean, it's
no, I told you to. I told you to take your choice, man. I told you to take your choice, man. You ran with it. It's all good. It was just the guy that I like too. I think a lot of people liked him last night.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing some more. Hopefully he's around for a little bit.
For certain. I think he's going to stick around for the next week or so. That's certainly got a possibility there,
At
man.
least
That's
two
for
more,
sure.
right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is the time when things are going to start moving around. That reminds me, man, I was going to go like kind of in order, and I didn't. One thing that we didn't mention right off the top, man, Lavelle Bailey got injured in this game, and by all reports, broken leg as well, out for an extended period of time. Lavelle Bailey, man, I tell you what, that inside linebacker position, it seems like it's cursed in some ways, man. It's a tough one to come out healthy and produce for the Denver Broncos. Lavelle Bailey is just another guy on that list as the Broncos looking for some depth behind Alex Singleton and Justin Sternad.
Definitely. I didn't see the exact play that happened on. I don't know if they showed it or whatever, if it was that obvious or that evident. I didn't see that part of it. I was just reading the byline there at the end, that he got hurt and that he was out. So, but I mean, yeah, he looked strong. He looked like, he's doing what we needed done. So that's definitely going to be a blow, I think.
Yeah. Training camp looked pretty good for Lavelle Bailey, but didn't get much opportunity in this game. Went out pretty early. It was a special teams play from what I heard. Haven't went back and looked at the tape. Haven't tried to figure that one out. Just know that guy's gone and that we're down an inside linebacker. So that's just a place that we're going to be looking. JC is coming in and saying, my guy, Jonah Coleman, showed the spark that will make him a top 10 running back in the league. Well, we got another call out, man, so might as well go with it, man. And what'd you think about Jonah Coleman in his very short stint? He had four touches for 24 yards, man. He had the average for sure.
Couple of the first couple looked like he was kind of, getting that feel. And then once he got hit by somebody else other than his own team, I think it was like he was like, jacked up and ready to go. Because there was that one play, it looked like you could have driven a truck right through the, and not hit anybody. They were opening it up for him, and he looked like to be taking full advantage of it.
For sure. Jonah Coleman, it's funny how shortly lived his stint was. I heard somebody else talking about it on another podcast. It was almost like they're like, yep, we saw exactly what we thought we saw. We think we know it exactly what we have there. There's no more reason to showcase him. And all of a sudden we saw McLaughlin and Beatty started getting their opportunities to kind of show off as well. So good little start for Jonah Coleman. Like you said, when he cut it back, he ended up lowering his helmet, hitting that guy low, spinning off of him. Even when he got contact, he continued to push forward, got more yards, probably got 2.5 to 3 more yards after guys started, jumping on him, coming on him from behind, tackling him from behind, the whole 9 yards. Guy chugged and got some yards. Honestly, not since early Javonte Williams have I seen a run quite like that. That's kind of what that reminded me of. Remember when Javonte Williams got the angry run and he was just like running over guys and just kept going and going and,
almost like he was looking for somebody to hit when he was
Yes. And Jonah Coleman kind of brought back that feel, man. Good to see a JC and good call out as far as Jonah Coleman. Rodney wasn't going to be left out though. He said Jonah with that spin move was awesome, man. Yeah. That low contact balance, right, that he has. He was able to get lower on that guy. And once he got that contact, just spun right out of there. And honestly, probably picked up 6 yards after that hit and another 3 yards after the guys were on his back.
He's a shorter guy too, isn't he? Isn't he like?
Oh yeah, like 5'8", 5'9". Yeah.
So he's like my height. Wow. I wish I could be stacked 200 and some pounds like that. That'd be all right. My 200 pounds would not look near like that. I promise you.
Well, I'm like the same height as Allen Iverson, but I can tell you I don't play basketball like that either. So,
no practice?
What's that?
No practice?
No practice. No practice here. We're talking about practice. Roy Osborne's coming in. Got somebody over on Facebook saying, hey there, Keith and Patrick. And he says, oops, Patrick, because he kind of misspelled typed Patrick. That's okay, Roy. Good to see you, my friend.
I've been called worse.
Oatrick, it's good to see you. Rodney has one more shout out, man. He's been hitting the the running back room pretty hard. But I saw this one as well, man. Cody Schrader, man. This is a guy that's been hanging out over on the Rams, second string, third string roster for a couple of years. It got his opportunity to obviously walk out the door one way or another, and he ended up on the Denver Broncos, training camp roster this season. He went out there and he was looking pretty good. This is where I was saying, man, this list could be a mile long. This list right here could be a mile long because there was a lot of great performances. But another good call out because certainly a guy that caught my eye, Cody Schrader, running back as well. Coleman is ready, says Victory Lap, and he's all about Ross as well. So, and then our good friend Phil McLaughlin. I'm so glad to see you, Phil. I told you that I wanted to answer a question today because I missed it on Friday or on our Wednesday podcast. But he's coming in here. He's saying, "Good evening, Keith and Mr. Coffee. Sorry I'm late. I think we need to bring in a safety." I was not impressed. He's also dropping 100 stars. I was just about ready to check that, my friend. I appreciate that. We'll get to the safety question first, but this kind of brings me to an MVP that I'm surprised we haven't talked about. A couple of big ones that we probably will talk about right here in this little split of an episode right now. Phil came in on Wednesday, and he asked, and hey, this was a legitimate question on Wednesday. He said, "Will Jarrett Stidham still be on this roster come week 1?" Brings me to one of the MVP performances. Patrick, Jarrett Stidham was out there wheeling and dealing from the very get-go, man. It was like he was on a comeback tour after his performance in the AFC Championship. Way to shoulder the load and go out there and not fall apart underneath the pressure of your first start since that AFC Championship. Went out there and owned it, man. Thought he had a fantastic performance. Your thoughts on that? And then we'll talk about some safeties. He did look
like he was, comfortable and knowing where to go. And, but there were a couple times too that play to Sutton that he caught at the 1.
Yeah.
He looked, unfortunately, he looked almost surprised. Like, oh, like that worked, he didn't look like he expected that outcome with that. But he did good in preseason last year. He obviously did good enough in a preseason role with other teams to, before he came here. But preseason is I could almost look good in preseason depending on when you put me in. But I said pretty good. I didn't say good. I said, and the last 5 seconds of the game, who's going to hit me, right? I'd look okay. But it's just, it's in game. You shouldn't need a comeback, is my point. You're getting $8 million to a year. You shouldn't need to come back. You should be ready to go. He should have almost been the one leaving the game with a broken ankle because he tried so hard and it didn't look, I'd rather have that in a game than I'd rather show nothing in preseason, and then when you come into a game you're good to go. So that's just my personal,
No, hey, that's good, man. Like I said, I wanted to answer Phil's question. I thought that he certainly answered the
he answered the bell.
He answered the bell, for a preseason game 1. But I think you're absolutely right. And Victory Lap's coming in. I'll go back to Phil's comment after this one. But Victory Lap, he says Stiddy is the preseason king. And yeah, I remember from Bo's first season, I was the guy saying, I don't know, maybe Jarrett Stidham should get the start and Bo should work his way into this role, Yeah. And then, like you said, last year was all about how good Stidham looked and how many teams were going to be calling for him. And, is he a tradable asset? And, people knocking on the door of the Denver Broncos, kind of sniffing around Jarrett Stidham. And then the AFC Championship happened. He actually got a game to play. That changed a lot of people's perception. And it's all about game time. So I guess you're right in a way, man. Let's not crown him king, as Victory Lap is talking about, for a preseason game, because when it really matters is when it really matters. He looked good. Yeah,
I'm not faulting that at all. I'd never take that away from him. He looked he looked like he knew what he was doing. But like I said, there were just a couple of those plays that he looked surprised that the outcome was successful.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I thought about this. Phil came in and he said he wasn't impressed, and I think we need to bring in a safety as well. Now, Hufanga, I don't think ever played a snap back there.
I don't remember seeing his name. No.
Yeah, but that being said, I don't know. To me, I understand it might not have been the perfect game, but we were also talking about a game where they barely scored 7 points. And if it wouldn't have been for a Jaleel McLaughlin fumble, maybe they wouldn't even have the opportunity on those 7 points. This defense was pretty tight. Now, maybe I just think we're splitting hairs a little bit, but yeah, JL Skinner, he could have played better, and the guys behind him, boy, it didn't look any prettier after that, So I get what you're talking about, but I also want to just put in a little bit of context, kind of like we just did with Jarrett Stidham. Don't crown him king because he looked great in preseason. Well, I don't want to sit there and say this defense doesn't have a safety on it based off of one preseason game either. There's always room for adjustments and improvements. We'll be looking for that, especially from JL Skinner. I think that's the biggest one that everyone's really concerned about. Any thoughts on the safety play in this game?
It wouldn't surprise me if they brought somebody. I don't think it's going to be some huge big name, because what huge big name is out there, at this point in the season, after cut day maybe. But I mean, then they bring somebody over Wednesday or Thursday for a workout or whatever. And I mean,
Tyler Rapp, if I remember right, Tyler Rapp.
Rapp.
Last name is Rapp for sure. I might not for sure on the first names, but you're right.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to have them looking. I mean, they should be looking. That's their jobs, right? To be looking and checking for everything like that, And like you said, we can't crown them preseason duds or studs quite yet, because maybe they've got a good set in mind, and they're just looking for whoever can do whether it's the special team side or when this guy gets tired, that they bring somebody that can. You don't notice the step down as much. And I mean, we don't know what they're looking for yet. We're not in the coaching room. I mean, it'd be a much different conversation if we were, right? So
wouldn't that be fun? Victory Last saying the Stiddy hype last season, and Phil saying my feeling on Stidham, great till it counts. So lot of people still out on Jarrett Stidham. Sam Ellinger came in, looked pretty dang good. I think if I remember right, he was 10 for 14. Didn't have the yards, obviously, that Jarrett Stidham had, but certainly looked still serviceable in his time.
He didn't give the ball up. He didn't look, scared. He looked solid too. So, I mean,
stood in the pocket, delivered passes, he looked like he was confident in the offense, which is something that, I think that Sean Payton, Davis Webb liked about him right off the bat. So,
yeah, I'd have to agree. Okay. I can't say that anything either one of them did looked bad to me. Even McLaughlin's fumble, that was a beautiful punch. I mean, you can ask any boxer. Everybody's got one shot if you can get with that one punch in there, and that punch was, that was right on. There was it was nothing but ball. So I mean, it was.
Agreed. That was a tough one.
That could have been anybody holding that ball, and knocking it like that. So
that's a tough one. Almost on the ground, almost completely parallel to the ground.
Yeah, I would have figured I was safe.
I got Rodney coming in. He's got another name, and boy, this number just popped off the screen again and again and again and again. Each time I was watching this defense, it seemed like Red Murdoch was in on a play. He led the team in tackles. He also led the team in time on the field as well. He had a lot of play. And, for a guy that took a little heat in training camp, and then when Vance Joseph came out in his little presser while Sean was off at the Hall of Fame, he came out and he said, you know what? He's looking better. It takes a lot. He's wearing the green dot. He's trying to figure out the flow of the game. Man, he went out there and I thought he was one of the guys who proved himself the most. Talking about what, Mr. Irrelevant here, Patrick? Red Murdoch, I think, was amazing on the field.
It looks like that boy's got a chip on each shoulder, which is beautiful to see. I mean, he's raring. Like my Uso Glenn told me, man, that guy's a football magnet. He's a missile. He's a hitting missile. He's going to be around the ball wherever it happens to be. And I think he was showing that. I mean, there were a couple times there was a little bit of hesitation, but this game's a different speed at this level. Even preseason's a different speed than you've been playing for the last few years. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me that it took him a little, if it was 5-6 games in a year before he really got like a solid, feel for things. I mean, how long did it take Bo before he had a solid, feel for the speed? So,
yeah. No, I agree, man. It was funny. I saw a player interview, and I also saw Sean Payton when he took the podium before they left for Atlanta. He was talking about that. And sometimes I guess I don't think about this, but some of these guys, especially the smaller school guys, walking in, I don't care if it's preseason, you're walking into an NFL stadium for the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking, it's the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. That thing is massive. I mean, that's a lot. I don't care if the fans were dressed up as stadium seats. You know what I mean? It's
right.
still a big place. There's still all the big lights. I mean, this is a lot to take in as some of these rookies went out there. So those guys, the way they went out there, the way they played, the way they carried themselves, the way they were locked in, and I think that says a lot about this team. Great job, and that played all the way through to a guy like Red Murdoch. You know what I mean?
I think
last guy
selected. A lot about BJ, that he's he's able to get these guys that some of them he probably hasn't had a lot of time with. They haven't been in the system 2 years, 3 years, like some of these others. And I think, and I'm not the biggest BJ fan, and I think it says a lot about whoever he hires, whoever he says to these guys, that it's he's got them revved up, ready to go.
I agree. This coaching staff was loaded. We were lucky to keep Vance Joseph this last year. We were lucky to keep Davis Webb this last year, along with Sean Payton. I think we're pretty lucky. I don't know how long we keep this together, but you're absolutely right, man. Vance Joseph, great coach, great defensive coordinator, had this team ready to go in a preseason game. Martin's coming in saying, good evening, gentlemen. Coming in late. What a game last night. Denver looked ready for prime time, and Atlanta did not. Yeah, I mean, I follow usually a few pages of all our opponents, and it's not great waking up this morning as an Atlanta fan. I can tell you, in comparison, the conversations don't sound anything like the MVP awards we continue to hand out, or at least the great play that we saw on the field from our team. Atlanta didn't have a whole lot of that, man. It was a rough going for that team. They did not look ready for the regular season. The Denver Broncos absolutely did. I got another shout out, man. Got another shout out for another player, man. I thought Q Robinson went out there and looked awfully dang good. Now, I said that would be the guy that we'd all be talking about, after this game. We all kind of gave a hot take as far as what player would get all the accolades, and I chose Q Robinson, but he didn't hit flaming level, but I thought he had a fantastic game, played his own. He was in on a lot of plays, man. Looks like he's shot out of a cannon on just about every single snap, man. Really like what Q Robinson did.
You didn't hear anything negative about him either, though. You didn't hear, oh, look, this guy's out of position. You didn't hear, you didn't hear anything bad about him. So, I mean, sometimes no news is good news on things like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Roy Osborne, he says one last thing. I don't want to miss the last thing, especially if Roy's going to be having to leave us. Last thing I needed to hear yesterday was another curveball on the preferred stadium site. Oh, goodness. Well, now you got me having to go down another rabbit hole, Roy. I'll check that out and see what's that's all about. I can't believe that I didn't get to this player, though. How can we not talk about Courtland Sutton, man? I mean, I'll be honest. I'm the guy who's been like, maybe we could trade Courtland Sutton. maybe Cortland Sutton isn't everything we need. I think Cortland Sutton is finally coming into his own. I think we really started to see it last night, man. I just think him once Jalen Waddle walked into that locker room, it was kind of like when Emmanuel Sanders walked in. Boy, did it take a lot of pressure, I think, off of Cortland Sutton. Just like when Emmanuel Sanders walked in, it took a lot of pressure off the wide receiver room there. I think Cortland Sutton is poised, primed to have a fantastic season for the Denver Broncos, and I think he showcased it very well last night.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, he's got to be happy. I mean, everybody's talking about Bryant. Everybody's talking about Waddle. All he's got to do is sit back and look at him, and then he's right there open with nobody. I mean, that one-handed catch. How OBJ-like was that one-handed catch? That was freaking amazing. Sorry, I almost got strong. I mean, that was I was like surprised that he held on to that. I'm watching and I'm like, what? It was very surprising. Beautiful.
Yes. I mean, again, I just think he's going to play a little bit looser. I think that there was a lot that's been put on Cortland Sutton. Who's his number 2 been?
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick. I mean, these are not like, what's that?
Hey, now be careful. That's one of the ones. I miss him. So
I know. But I'm just saying. You look at a wide receiver room like Cincinnati and the names that they line up and down. Or the St. Louis Rams and the names that they St. Louis, the LA Rams, and the way that they have lined up and down. And when you're, as Rodney's coming in here laughing, when your number 2 might be Kendall Hinton. Opposite, man, that's a lot of pressure to be that number 1. And all of a sudden, Pat Bryant starts emerging. Troy Franklin had a good night last night. Marvin Mims, we'll see. But Jalen Waddle, that's the piece that really comes in there. And all of a sudden, it's like, you can't just stack up on Cortland Sutton anymore. And I think Cortland Sutton has just felt a little bit of relief. Seems like he's playing a little bit looser out there.
But and maybe because there's all those names popping up, he's not going to get the 100 catches, but the 50 he gets are going to be quality. They're going to be solid. You're going to remember those 50 better than he had 100 of them, 50 of them for 2 yards.
Yeah.
You're not going to remember that stuff. You're going to remember how many touchdowns did he have? What did he go? And like you said, the pressure. Now he knows somebody's looking over that way. He knows if he's covered here that there's something there. So if he can make a move, maybe he's the one that comes out and is open.
Yeah.
And I think that opens up a lot, but it opens up a lot for Mims. It opens up a lot for Franklin, these other guys too, because there's so many eyes. Who do you watch? Who do you look for? Who do you game plan for? I mean, it's a beautiful problem to have. One we haven't had here in Denver for quite some time, I think.
I agree. If you look at the big reception by Cortland Sutton down to the goal line, and you look about 15 yards in front of that play, you'll see Evan Ingram in triple coverage. That's the type of roster that we're putting together. When Evan Ingram's pulling 2 or 3 guys, and that leaves Cortland Sutton singled up for an opportunity like that
on a jump ball.
Whew. Yep, playing with fire there, and they got burned. Martin comes in, says Barron made himself relevant again last night. And then Phil McLaughlin coming in. He likes the Stars, and we appreciate him, Phil. A little clap it up for you, my friend. Appreciate you so much. Barron looked better. Ross was okay. Prentice was good. York is a possible player. Thoughts? York, inside linebacker, got a little bit of play. Boy, I don't know where you want to start on that. Do you want to start on that? Do you want me to start on this?
I can go. I mean, the bits I noticed, unfortunately, he looked almost starstruck a couple times, a little hesitant. But
speaking of York,
right, yeah, York. I mean, he looked, but obviously they see something, and he's there for a reason. So I mean, I think it's preseason. Give him a couple of chances. This is his first chance at action. Well, he was unsigned, right? Wasn't he unsigned?
Yep, undrafted free agent. Yep.
So I mean, this is going to be his first set of action, his first shot at anything. So I mean, give him a little bit of time. I think he'll round out. I don't know if he'll round out enough to make the 53, but I mean, I think he'll round out. I think he'll be good.
Yeah, I'll go through all of these really quick. Barron looked better as right. I thought he looked good in coverage, and obviously he was heads up on that interception. Had a couple of opportunities, but this is something that's been coming along, and he needs to look better. First round draft pick. Jahdae Barron needs to start looking better and needs to really start pressing. I kind of said it a little bit earlier as a point. He's not pressing for Riley Moss or Patrick Surtain. There's a first round draft pick as a cornerback. You know what I mean? At some point, he should be pressing for those guys a little bit. Ross was okay. I agree. Prentice was the guy that I really liked. I sent a video out to the guys here at DVR a little while ago that talked about it was Vic Fangio talking about defenses in 2026, and that fullback position can be very, very valuable in order to change the protection that you go up against. Adam Prentice did look very good out there, and quite honestly, the scheme of the running game looked really good. This was down the middle, one gap, two gap type of running, nothing really bouncing to the outside. If you watched, especially the way this game started off, it was all funneling right up through the center. And part of that was Adam Prentice. So that's the guy that I really like on this list. I think the most, Phil. York is a possible player, but Carini Reed, I thought he looked pretty good out there too. And he was the guy who really started that interception for Jahdae Barron when he ran all the way back. He was the linebacker who dove in front of the receiver and ricocheted the ball into Jahdae Barron's hands. I thought that's the guy that I'm looking for when it comes to that inside linebacker. York, like you said, he's an undrafted free agent. He's out there. He's getting his opportunity. Let him continue to, grow that opportunity maybe over the next couple of games and see what we have. But Carini Reed, that's the guy that I would that's the guy that really impressed me when it came to the inside linebacker. Martin says we have to throw more 50-50 balls to Sutton because he's going to win just about every time. And Rodney also coming in talking about Sutton over on YouTube says that one-handed catch by Sutton. Big wow emoji eyes and the big love sign as well, man. There's a question coming in from Rodney. I was thinking about this when you were talking about what you were saying a little bit earlier, Patrick. You said Courtland Sutton might not get 100 catches, but he might have 50, good catches, 50, quality catches. Do you think, Rodney's wondering though, do you think Sutton will have 1,000 yards with his receptions? Do you think that he can still push that now that he has somebody maybe taking the pressure off the other side?
I think he very well could. I don't see why not. I mean, I honestly, I see it between him and Waddle for having the most receptions and catches between, it's be a 1 or 1A kind of thing with either of them. Because like we said, the pressure's off. There's so many distractions to look at now, so much eye candy for, Bo to be like, here we go, ready to play and go. Who do you plan for? You plan for Waddle, you're leaving Sutton, all these other guys open. I definitely could see Sutton having just a monster, like you said, coming into his own, having a monster year and making that call of, is Bryant his replacement or what, making that a very difficult decision.
If we can continue to put up 20 points a half, I think there's an opportunity for that, man. I mean, honestly, though, the way this offense came out and the way they were humming right off the bat, I mean, if we can have that type of presence on the field, it only plays into the hands. It was funny, Patrick. By the time the first half was getting over with the turnovers we're getting and everything else, I'm like, are they going to put like Sam Ellinger in just a little bit early? Because it seems like these guys keep running back out on the field for opportunities here in the first half, like more opportunities than you would expect it. You would have expected just by how quickly they were scoring. And then the turnovers that they were getting as well, whether it be punts or whether they actually be creating the turnover themselves. That they seem like the offense had their ball in their hand the entire first half. And I'd like to, it seemed like it was going to be completely lopsided as far as the the first half team versus the second half team as far as snaps. But the Atlanta Falcons continued to be terrible in the second half, so we just got just about as many opportunities. It's funny how it works out. So
the backups were not up to snuff either. So,
a couple other names that I just want to hit real quick, man. Calvin Throckmorton, I thought that he did really well, stepped in at center, got pushed around a little bit. You know, there was times that he was the guy that was furthest back in the backfield, you know, closest to the quarterback when it came to offensive linemen. So his anchor could probably still get a little bit better. But this is a guy that really stepped in, got his first snap as a center in the NFL on Friday. And I think he did a fantastic job coming out the gate and being a part of that offensive line. There was a lot of questions on what we were going to do there. We also had a guy at Ortega that came in a little bit later, played pretty decent, I thought. Maybe not to the same level, but played pretty good. And he's a dedicated center guy that we were taking a look at. But Calvin Throckmorton is one guy that I was watching that offensive line. I was watching that center position, and I thought it had a pretty dang good game overall, Patrick.
Yeah, the bits when I was looking that way and not looking, like I said, at all the other eye candy and looking around at things, he looked to be, I mean, yeah, he looked surprised on a few things, but like we said, he'd never played in a game like at the NFL level at that position. Anybody, almost any of those guys along the line can give a snap or two if needed for, you know, an emergency. I mean, that's kind of, you know, the guy's job next to you, at least, you know, enough to know what you need to do. So, I mean, they can all probably step in for a play or two. But, I mean, to be asked basically like, okay, you know, Thursday, you're the man. And so, you know, it's going to be you. That's a lot of pressure. And, I mean, I think he stood up to it. I think he could develop into something if they had to keep him in that spot. But, yeah, I mean, he did what he was asked. You know, that first Tyson said, right, everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. He got hit in the mouth, and it looked like he changed his plan and buckled down. He looked a lot more solid as he played, as opposed to the first couple of plays. So
yeah, no, I even say like the first play I thought he did pretty dang well. Obviously, we had that dig to Pat Bryant, looked good. That deep play to Cortland Sutton looked good on that one. One thing I got to say, I guess let the cat out of the bag. If anybody didn't know, Calvin Throckmorton has actually been trying to develop into a little bit of a center this offseason, trying to, I don't know. I guess he wants to be more valuable than just a swing guard and wants to open up that opportunity. So no better time than when your two starting first string and second string center end up going down this season, man. And
you had a good audition.
Calvin Throckmorton just decided this was the year that he wanted to maybe try to do that a little bit. Played out pretty well. If I didn't mention Jonah Ellis though before I got out of here, I would be dissatisfied with myself, Patrick. I thought Jonah Ellis played a big game, man, and good to see him continue to develop. I think he's just a guy that's always around the ball, and he was, in my opinion, he was the guy who tipped the ball that led to the Moss interception as well. I think it came off the edge. I don't think it was Malcolm Roach up the center. Though those guys had their hands up. So that's my last shout out that I wanted to give. Though I could go on and on and on because I have a list here. Jonah Ellis is one guy I did not want to miss.
No, most definitely not. He's and I've said the whole time, he's very athletic. He's a good sized man. He can get in and speed. He gets where he needs to be when he needs to be there. I think if he continues to do what they ask of him, I think he's going to prove how valuable he can be. So,
I agree. Adam and Kayla, these have been great fans and supporters, great posse members, as we like to call them here on the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast for quite some time, saying, "What's up, family? Love y'all. Let's go Broncos." They got the hearts. They got the big muscle. They're ready to go. I just got to say, man, Adam, hopefully you're still hanging out there. I know you're in and out pretty quick sometimes, man, but if you're ever in need of an inspirational message, check out Adam. Great stuff, man. I saw your post. I think it was from today, my friend. And love what you're doing over there, man. Great, positive family man, and appreciate you being in the chat with us, Adam. Good to see you. Rodney says Drew Sanders did good too, and isn't that just a wonderful thing to hear, Patrick? Seems like that's something we've been waiting for a while, man. Drew Sanders doing pretty good. Someone else said he even showed a little blip on the radar in this game as well. So Drew Sanders getting a couple of call outs from the posse tonight.
I hope he makes it a difficult decision in that room, that he can come in and prove at least why they've given him as much leeway with, injuries and the things and unfortunate situations he's had come up with that. I mean, I really do. Because, he was a decent round pick too, wasn't he?
Second, I want to say third or fourth. I want to say.
Okay. Yeah. I thought for some reason I had him a little higher in my head about things, the way they talked about him. So, but no, I hope he does. I hope he makes it difficult. Like the last day, they're trying to, they're almost this one. Yeah. I really hope he makes it hard.
And I got to say, one thing that really went into my mind, was Drew Sanders once LaVelle Bailey got hurt. They talked about Drew Sanders maybe having some packages at inside linebacker, doing some stuff on the outside edge as well. He has that versatility. May just have played into Drew Sanders' hands. The unfortunate injury by LaVelle Bailey makes what makes Drew Sanders maybe just a little bit more his flexibility a little bit more valuable to this team. Sorry, lost my train of thoughts because everyone's coming in with all these great comments. Paul hasn't been in that I've seen all show, but he's coming in and he says, I got a really good feeling about this year. Man, Paul, I agree, man. Like I said, to me, this team is Super Bowl or bust, man. This is like the last opportunity. Bo Nix gets paid next year. There's a lot of players whose contracts could line up with an exit next year, So it's a time to go, man. But at the same time, I think this team wants to complete something that should have been done last year, and I think they have a passion and a fire to do that. Adam and Kayla, we talked a little bit about Pat Bryant, but Pat Bryant didn't have a ton of time or didn't have a ton of receptions, just one reception, but out there starting off the game. It's like we've been talking about him all training camp, and he gets the first reception of the game, and it was a beautiful one as well. Pat Bryant gets a call out. So
definitely showed why they've been talking about him, I think. So
and then Phil has a question. Gets right back to that Stidham Ellinger one. He says, guys, if Ellinger would have started the game, would we have seen the same result? Do you think if Ellinger was out there with, the Cortland Suttons and the Evan Ingrams and the Pat Bryants and all of, all the starters to begin, do you think that would have made the same? Do you think we would have got the same result? Do you think Ellinger would have been able to command like Stidham did?
Yeah, I think they would have called plays a little differently. Stidham is a little more of a pocket type quarterback. He's not going to run around near as much, the rollouts and the things like that. Whereas I think Ellinger will do that. So I think we might have seen a few different, bites at an apple there with some different. But yeah, I think we would have seen the same result because the rest of the boys looked ready to play, and not to disparage anybody, but Atlanta just did not look like they were ready. Yeah. They looked like they were stepping in. Oh, okay, preseason, let's go. And Denver was like, we were not like that. We were like, come on, it's on. So
locked in, ready to go, like it was a freaking playoff game.
Yeah, I think we would have. I think we would have seen maybe obviously different plays, and but I think it would have been pretty much the same to me. I could see the same score even, but I could see it being that way.
Yeah, I think the same command. I think you're right there. Sam Ellinger didn't go out there like you had mentioned earlier. Good call out, Patrick, earlier that Sam Ellinger didn't go out there and look scared. He didn't go out there and look nervous. He went back there. He was in command of the office. He stood in the pocket when he needed to. When he didn't see anything, he took off like he normally does. You know what I mean? Because that's his game. I think you're right. I don't think we would have seen a whole lot of difference in just the overall. I mean, scores and like you said, the plays are going to be different. The whole 9 yards. It's a different quarterback. But as far as in context of the game, the way that we commanded the game, the way that we were able to go out there and kind of impress our will upon the Atlanta Falcons. For one, there's 10 other guys out there doing it, and two, I think you're right. I think Sam Ehlinger actually. I think he went out there and did well with what he had, and I can only imagine what he would have done with the starters. I think he would have done great.
Yeah.
Last call out by Rodney Garcia, Cage Casey, guy that we all want to see do well. He says he did well too, and Paul's seconding that. He says, "Yeah, I heard that about Casey as well." Like I said, man, it was. This is a game, man. When you win 27-7, and I just mentioned earlier, Patrick, you kind of impress your will upon your opponent. A lot of highlights coming out of this game. It'll be interesting to see if we have a little bit more of an obstacle in this upcoming game against Green Bay this Friday. That'll be if we have a little bit higher level of competition. If we're struggling a little bit more, see what we look like when we're in that position. Maybe that's the best thing for us in these next couple of games.
You think they'll swap a little bit? I would hope Bo plays a little bit, at least, gets out there, gets his feet green, from the grass a little bit. But do you think they'll swap? Do you think Ehlinger would come in first and then go to Stidham, or do you think? Is Ehlinger more the third game? Where a starter doesn't even make the trip if they fly somewhere else. It's.
Well, I can say this. I think if you're going to name this a true quarterback competition, I think you're right. I think that after Bo next goes in there, because they said that Bo's going to play game 2 and game 3. After Bo gets done with his, I think it should be Sam next. I don't think he went out there and fell on his face, and I think he deserves that opportunity to.
They were still moving the ball.
Yeah,
they were still moving the ball. It's just they weren't punching it in the end zone, but maybe they weren't asking him to punch it in the end zone. Maybe they were saying, okay, look for Ross over here, or look for whoever it is. Look for,
or you're just queuing up more on the running game, and you're trying to see what you have than some of these other guys. You know what I mean? Where Definitely. you might open it up and throw a pass. You're like, well, yeah, but let's just see. Really like to see if Tyler Bidet is our guy. You know what I mean? So you're right, man. I think that's a great call out, man. We'll be watching for that, man. Man. It's an hour, man. We've had a fantastic episode. And, man, all the posse members came in here with your comments, your thoughts, your questions. Appreciate y'all a ton, man. We've been growing a ton over on Facebook, man. I've been throwing a few more things around out there as of lately, and it's been fun. It's been fun interacting with all of y'all. By the way, all y'all are on board with Von Miller coming back for the Denver Broncos. Oh, and I already know what one of my last thoughts are going to be. So now that reminded me. But I tell you what, man, I put out a Von Miller yes or no. Whew, boy, that was overwhelming, the amount of responses I got for Von Miller yes or no, and like 98% of them is a yes. I was surprised, but that being said, man, follow. Share, subscribe. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify, man. And I'm going to have a couple of final words, but first, Patrick, man, I'll give you the honors.
Wow. I like this. This is all right. No, honestly, yeah, I like the Moss. I like the Miller brought out. I've said before on many different shows and things like that, I did count. I have 5 jerseys and/or t-shirts with Miller on there. Yeah, that was that Super Bowl against Cam, when he was just, eating Cam. I thought they were going to call him a cannibal as much as he was eating on Cam and beating on him there. That to me just solidified everything for him. And even if you only get that once or twice at the age he is to come in and do it, to me but I'm not the one making the monetary decisions or whatever decision it is preventing it from happening. But no, final thoughts really is just, obviously we can't take away too much. It is just preseason, but at least it was similar talent levels against similar talent levels. It was backup against backup. It was third against third for most of the times. So, you just see the and the coaching to me is just proved that it's definitely there where it's might not be on a lot of these other teams. So it was to me, that's my final thought to take away from, is just that to look at it for what it was, is similar talent against similar talent level, and take what you can from there.
Mm-hmm. I agree, man. It was a good competitive matchup. You got to take what you can out of a game when it's only preseason, but good to see some of those guys stepping up. A lot of the names that we've heard in training camp, now we get to kind of see on the field as well. And I don't know, kind of got some justification on a lot of the rumors and reports that we've been hearing out of training camp as well. My final thought, maybe my most controversial, I guess. I thought Jonathan Cooper had a great looking game. But there's a lot in the future for Jonathan Cooper, and we don't know what's to happen. I will say this. I think that he went out there and he played well enough that Broncos country isn't talking about him and just calling for his exit. And I think he played well enough that I don't think that he's just going to be outright cut or anything like that either. I think even if he has to serve a suspension, he will. Now, Paul's coming in and talking about Vaughn. Do we bring Von Miller in if we have a Jonathan Cooper suspension? Now, that's a great question. We'll see. I don't think the Broncos are lining up for that, but could be shocked. We'll follow it either way, man, here on the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast on the Rocky Mountain Sports Network. Don't forget to check out our amazing sponsor, Morgan Trinkets. They've been sponsoring us for so dang long. And we appreciate them a ton. I'm going to get Pearl's email address because that's the best way to get in contact with her. I'll have it in the next episode. But if you're out in Greeley, August 14th through the 17th is the Greeley Dog Show, and that's where Morgan Trinkets is at. And Pearl has a dog in that show, and it'd be awesome if y'all just stopped right by and said, "Go Pearl, go puppy, go get the top awards, and maybe check yourself out some Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, Estate Gold at amazing prices, along with the silver as well." That's what Pearl has to offer out there. All right, man. That being said, one last comment I'll get before I get out of here. Great show. Guys, great show tonight from Phil McLaughlin. Keith, hope the store is doing well. Thanks, Phil. I appreciate it, man. Lots of endeavors always, but, man, always here for the Denver Broncos, always here for the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. We are all Broncos all the time. Come check us out. Share us with your friends. We'd appreciate it a ton, but we got to get out of here. Patrick, when I'm here, we do it one way and one way only. We keep our boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters, and, of course, the Denver Broncos right there in our heart. Until next episode, we're going to get out of here. Everybody, have a great weekend, and see you on Wednesday.